I saw a quote attributed to you that talked about the value of having the right team in place and how that drives success. And I'm thinking about that in the context of these big stair-step moves. That it's not this linear, thing that's nice and smooth. How did you maintain? You said you made some great hires and some bad hires. Talk to me about that a little bit, because you're growing very rapidly, and you're having to add people in fits and starts, but you're adding a lot of people
right
in fits and starts. Did you get better at the hiring process?
I think we definitely did, right? We definitely got more systematic in like how we did it. Everybody that grows a business is going to make some bad hires. I think that, I think what I got a lot better at there was like fewer bad hires, but also just recognizing when somebody wasn't a great fit. I mean, sometimes a bad hire is not the fault of the individual. It's that you didn't recognize what you needed, right? So, I mean,
put them in the wrong place.
There's some of my bad hires I made where, in retrospect, it was really obvious they were not going to be able to be successful at that job. And so, and there's other people who oversell themselves or really just can't operate in a startup. You get somebody who's been at a big company. Some of my best hires have been people who operated at scale and could really bring that knowledge, and they knew how to operate there, and they knew how to operate at a startup and a growth company level. And there were other people who were probably great up here based on what we heard and knew, and they came down here and they had no idea what to do.
Been there, done that. Yep.
And so that's just, I think you do get better at filtering that. You do get better at, understanding what questions to ask. I think more importantly, you get better at recognizing it and fixing the problem quickly. I think one of the hardest things to do when you're a startup or a growth company is, you're trying to hire somebody who really you think knows a lot more about something than you do. I think if you're a good entrepreneur, a good CEO, you're hiring people that are a lot smarter and better at, any individual thing than you are. Right. And that's how you build great teams. You're like, all right, we need somebody who really understands this really well. What you're saying is we probably need somebody who knows more than anybody here about that. So, there's a trick of, how do you hire somebody who, is much better, much more experienced, much more knowledgeable about a thing than you are? How do you interview that person and know that they're not just full of shit,
right.
And because you don't know, you're essentially saying, I don't understand that well. I need somebody who does. And so there is definitely an art and a science to that. And that's something I think I got a lot better at over time too. But I don't think anybody ever perfects it.
So. No, I agree with you.